It's set to match up between the Buffalo Bills and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Here we go. 319! 319!
They'll come out throwing here on first down. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. It's a gain of 9 yards. And it'll be second and about a yard. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great.
And right away, he lost the football. And the Buccaneers have it. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free. Anything you can do to slow them down.
Hey, we got four down.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And down inside the 35, he goes to the 32-yard line. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
49, guys. Mike, 49. Hey, 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50.
Now they try the right side here. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
Hey. We got 4.
Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4.
4 down. Alert. Hey, sub. Let's go. Hey, 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50.
From the gun, Winston. He's got Evans. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A familiar ring to that one. Winston to Evans for the Buccaneer first. After getting that turnover on the first drive of the game, you'd hate to just stall out the momentum, go 3 and out. They're able to avoid that there.
Yeah, we talk about complementary football all the time, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Defense went out, forced a turnover, gave the ball to the offense. It's now the offense's responsibility to pay that off for them, to show respect to them. Hey, you guys got us a turnover. We appreciate it. They want to continue their drive.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. On play action, Winston. And he rifles one incomplete. Mike Evans, the one he was looking for. And it's 3rd down. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
On 3rd down, Winston letting one go deep for the end zone. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So a pretty good opening drive. That'll make the home fans somewhat happy. They wanted 6, but they got 3 in the early lead.
And they should be happy. The guys look good getting down the field. That's got to give them a little bit of hope that good things are in store here today for them.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive, a little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
Coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think Coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Hey, boys, we got 4 down. All right, here we go. Blue 90! Blue 90!
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90! Blue 90!
And they'll go on the ground. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Hurry up, here we go. 319! 319!
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Flush to his right. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
I got him, man. I got him. He's mine. Max 22, Max 22. Gun!
They'll look to throw now on first down. For Kidder here, it's complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 11 more on that one and another first down. Great change up there on the route and got that inside release, made it a successful pitch and catch.
Well, the first thing you want to do is have him thinking that you're going outside, make a move in that direction. Then you really don't run the route against the whole body of the defender. You run against a half of him, and the inside half, and he took it right across his face, got inside, and won that route in a big way.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. 5 yards on the pickup, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And they'll run it here. And only able to muster a couple down to about the 27.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
to throw. And incomplete here on third down.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now, since it's fourth down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. And that is not going to get there. Oh, he missed it short. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10 at the 34. Here's Ronald Jones, first carry for the USC man. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Bucs in possession of the football as we begin the second quarter. But they face a 2nd and long to start things out. Working out of the gun, Winston. There's the Penn State man. It's Chris Godwin. Winston to Godwin on the connection there for a Tampa Bay first. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Jameis to throw it. Left side here, that's complete to Godwin. Showed the nice footwork and then hit and dropped shy of the 45. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go.
We got 3 down. Hey, fellas, we got 3. Let's go.
Off the play fake, Winston. Over the middle to Evans. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long?
49's the mic. Watch 49. Let's pick it up. It's our time, guys. Our time. Let's get off the field. Let's get off the field.
From the shotgun, it's Winston. And they take him down. The Bills get to him. Khalil Mack in there for sack number 22 on the year. Just a half sack shy now of Michael Strahan's record of 22.5 set in 2001. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. The Bills getting set to go. Now, they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And that's complete. It's the Carr-to-Cooper connection. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Spell fear in that offense.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Dancing to his left. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at third down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. They're going to look to throw. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 14 yards, and the Bills will get a new set of downs.
58, right over there. Yeah. Mike, 58, right there. That's right, man. Detroit!
They'll look to throw here on first down. Over the middle, Cooper with it. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. That goes for a gain of 31. So Amari Cooper out of Northwestern High School in Miami making a nice play there.
And it's so funny that when I was going through the draft process when he came out of Alabama and was inquiring about him and his skills, they say it all began back in Miami. He really became a pro receiver at a young age because of his attention to detail and precision. But don't forget his athletic ability. That's what made that catch there.
He did spend 1 year with Teddy Bridgewater as his quarterback there, so that helped back in high school. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Adrian Amos up to make the tackle. Two minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Tampa after this timeout.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. A gain of 4 on the play, and they're going to have a third down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll look to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
And Gold is able to put it through, and the Bills are going to tie the game at 3. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
4 down. Check. 4 down. Hey, 5-0.
On 1st and 10, Winston Throw right side, taken in by Godwin. And he's able to get up here to the 26. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
Even. Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping. Safety's creeping.
Now a 2nd down throw for Winston. And a catch right side by Evans. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Hey, 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50.
First down, Winston. And Brake has it over the middle. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And brought down, but not before he was able to break the tackle, and the extra effort moves the sticks. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here. As it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
5 on the 50. 5 on the 50.
They go play action here on 1st down. Steps away. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock. The intended target was Chris Godwin. And now it's 2nd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter. A lot of time to change things. Play action now. Winston escaping the pressure right. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10.
Got 3 down. Now let's go. 3-19.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he will perhaps get back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. And time has run out on this first half. So we've reached halftime in a low-scoring affair, just a pair of field goals. 3-3 is our score. As we send you a stone's throw away across I-4 to Orlando. There standing by is Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? Out come the Buccaneers. They'll have it first to start in the 3rd quarter. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Let's convert. Hey, base, hey. 5-0. 5-0.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. Only a yard on the pickup, so a good situation on 2nd and 2. It's now 3rd and 1.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
The Bucs on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation.
4 down. Check. 5-0, 5-0. 5-0.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
Anthony Barr got a real education at UCLA in playing not just his normal position of stand-up outside linebacker, but down defensive end. So he had to incorporate a variety of moves, take on bigger people. So he learned great leverage while he was there. That really helps him when he's trying to stop people running the ball.
Born in South Bend, Indiana. Thought about going back to go to Notre Dame, but you're right. Great career at UCLA and now a great career in the NFL. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll find some room to get this up to about the 14. In on the stop, Vernon Hargraves.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a very short pickup there across the 15 to the 16. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. The Bills on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Back to throw here. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. 10 yards, good enough for a Buffalo first down.
Detroit!
Now a play fake here on first down. Flushed out right. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
Gun!
Back to throw now on first down. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. It's a 4-yard pickup, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Now back to throw. Over the middle, Amari Cooper. It's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Give him 30 yards there.
It's funny when I go back to our pregame meeting with Amari Cooper, and we mentioned, what if they play man coverage against you? He almost seemed offended by it, didn't he?
I'll beat it. That's basically what he said, right?
I mean, the best receivers we've ever talked to and covered, when you talk about covering them with one guy, they think that's a personal affront. If they feel like if they can't just beat one defender, then they're not very good.
Gun!
They'll set up a throw. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. The loss of 3 on that first down pass play. Now 2nd and 13.
Here we go now. 3-19.
They'll look to throw here. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And this one goes incomplete. A first misfire there after 6 straight completions, and it leads to 4th down. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
And Gold is able to put it through, and the Bills have taken the lead. Now, they don't get a touchdown here on the opening drive of the 3rd quarter, but I think maybe you still say mission accomplished as they come away with the lead.
No, absolutely. You keep the pressure on, right? You go downfield, get some points up on the board, and hope that you've motivated your defense to take the field and hold that lead.
Now the Buccaneers offense gets ready to head back onto the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. And on the ground they go with the running back. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs. I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating. Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks. Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level. They'll try to throw now. Winston. He's got a man. It's his fullback. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. And give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch.
4 down, 4 down. Wide, get wide.
Now a handoff looking right. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Tackle made that time by Anthony Barr.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Five on the 50. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50.
And they'll go on the ground. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
The Bucs on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1.
Hey, sub. Let's go. Watch the guys, guys.
And they'll run it here. Oh, no, he gets the football. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. And shedding the tackle, and now some room. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. A big play there with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Bills will extend their lead. Gold with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And the Buccaneers getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. So you can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense. But when you turn it over, it changes momentum. And when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You'd better be, because otherwise it's going to be a long day for you.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
And how about that, partner? That happened in a hurry. Sudden, explosive, gets into the backfield and spills the play.
And he was AFC Defensive Player of the Week last week because of plays just like that. He sets up the screen to Jones. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game. Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown.
5 on the 50. 5 on the 50.
They go play action. Winston. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it second down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10.
Hey. 4 down, 4 down, 4 down. Green, trouble C. Here we go, even. Green, trouble C. 49, guys. Mike, 49.
From the gun, Winston. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
And a quick throw here. That's complete. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff.
We talked about it.
They like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time. Really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
They'll try and run it in with Jones. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1.
He gets it halfway there with that run. I think you play up-tempo, get right back on the line of scrimmage, and hammer out him again.
Second and goal from the 1. They come up in an offset eye. He'll get it up the middle. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. This Buffalo defense has stood their ground. This is third and goal.
5-0, 5-0, 5-0. Hey, sub. Let's go. Green, Triple C.
Here's Jones. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Ronald Jones, his second touchdown on the season. And the Bucs are able to make this a close game again. Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. They get one more as the extra point's up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. So just under 2 minutes to play, and this would figure to pretty much be your ball game right here. And the Bills are going to recover. A tough one there. They certainly wanted that when they needed it, but they didn't absolutely have to get it. They still do have 3 timeouts.
You're exactly right. They had to attempt it. But even though they didn't get it, as you noted, with 3 timeouts, if they can get these stops on defense, all hope is not lost.
Double tight.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And down inside the 40 to about the 38. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively they burn it here with 1:51 left. So they come up on second down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 11 yards and a Buffalo first down.
Well, they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And on the ground they go with the running back. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. And the Buccaneers go ahead and take another timeout as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. 2nd and 12, and you'd have to assume another all-out effort to stop the run is coming. Now they'll run it on the toss. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. The Bills on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. The Bills on their way to victory now as they take the knee. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. From the left hash, it's a 42-yard attempt. And Gold is able to put it through, and that extends their advantage to 6. It's 16-10. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now. They feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over. Critical condition here, obviously. Got to hope to get something quick right and then maybe take that shot deep.
And once they do take the big shot, you've got to worry on defense. Of course, no one getting behind the defense and make it an easy throw. But nowadays, it's not just the ball being tipped in the air and people in the end zone in a cluster. It's that guy that's short of the end zone who comes up and ends up making the play because he goes unguarded. So there's a lot to think about if you're playing defense in this situation.
We'll see if they can cover all their bases. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. Jameis now 13 out of 17 throwing the ball. He's got a first down.
Check three. Hey, sub. Let's go.
One last shot now for Winston. He's going to let it fly. And this is incomplete. So no miracles here on the final play. And this ball game is over. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done.